Hello YouTube, it's William. Out in the backyard, I got in a fire to burn down so I can do a little cooking. And I thought maybe while I was here that I would talk about some multi-tools right quick. I've been a fan of multi-tools, oh man, since they first came out. When the Gerber first came out in the 90s, I had it. I think they're just a phenomenal tool. I'm gonna go through my three favorite tools and explain why, and we'll go from there. We bring the camera down a bit. Okay, try not to bump the camera. It's kind of precarious right there, but this is just a little belt pouch that I use. And on the belt pouch, I kind of switch between these three. To show you the pliers that I use. I don't carry a multi-tool for the pliers because I don't think any of the pliers work very well. But these Knipex, and somebody recommended them to me on Facebook when I was carrying just the regular channel locks, and he recommended the Knipex. I think it's how you pronounce it. They're German. It's Knipex, and you can get them off of Amazon. So just search that. These are the 7-inch, and these are phenomenal. I mean, you can work them with one hand. I mean, and they spread so much wider than just regular channel locks. You have different settings. I mean, it's just a beautiful, beautiful pair of tools. And they have the little notch there so that it helps you grab the bolts or whatever you're grabbing a little bit better. So, but anyway, I keep those on a little belt pouch like that, and I got it made to where I can just kind of wear it on either side. I have a little a mini streamlight flashlight, because when I get in the shop it's dark, and a ferro rod. So, but anyway, I'm not going to make these, but if you talk to Randy, I'm sure Randy at Stitch Gear would be happy to make you something like that. But anyway, those Knipex, I highly recommend those over the standard channel locks. It's German steel, so I mean they're phenomenal pair of tools. But anyway, this is the PS, the Free, the P4, and I have the other was a P2, but I like this one because I mean, grinding steel around magnets is not the best in the world, but you know, so far I've been able to keep them fairly clean. The one thing that I really like about this tool is not so much the serrated. I use the serrated a little bit, but not very much. I like the saw. The blade, I use this blade. It's kind of a hollow grind, so it's a little bit finer blade than what I would consider to be useful on a multi-tool. But the scissors, I like the scissors where they're easily accessed. And also the awl. This one has an awl where the Wave doesn't have an awl or a reamer. I like the reamer side, especially with crafts. The multi-tool Wave. The Wave was always my favorite until I started using the Swiss Spirit, and I'll talk about it in a minute. But I like the Wave. This is the Plus, which has the carbide cutters. And the only reason that I carry a multi-tool instead of like a SAK with a lot of these tools on it, like the saw and the scissors and the awl, is because of the cutters, the wire cutters. And I like the Wave because it has the carbide cutters that's replaceable. I like that. The only thing I have against the Wave is the scissors. The scissors is horrible, and I'm always trying to cut out patterns and things for knife designs, and the scissors is always handy, and these scissors are terrible. I wish they would have the same scissors that's on this on the Wave. And also, the Wave does not have an awl, and so those two items, if they come out with a Wave that had those two items with the scissors outside, and maybe do away with the little serrated blade, then I think that this will be a phenomenal tool. But alas, that's not it. So this is kind of a second choice, because it does have the carbide replaceable cutters, and again, that's the only reason I have a multi-tool, is because of the cutters. if it wasn't for that, I would have like an SAK type blade on me, okay? Because it you can get them with the reamers and the scissors and the saw and all that good stuff. But you ain't been able to get the SAK or the Swiss Army knife, if you're not sure what a SAK is, the Swiss Army knife with cutters on it. Now you can get some with pliers, but some of the Swiss Champs and things like that, but they don't have the cutters, and I need the cutters for materials. Now I love the Swiss, this right here, the Swiss Spirit. Okay, the only thing that I have against this is the cutters. You can see I've already worn the cutters down, and they're not replaceable, so they don't cut very well at this point. The other thing is they're slick. I mean, I have dropped these things more times than I can count because they're just so cotton picking slick. And now, as far as the tools and the access to the tools on the outside, I think that it's phenomenal. It's just, I wish that that Leatherman had the tools as good as these. It has the reamers. Look at that reamer. I mean, that reamer is just, and the way it's set back like that, you can put some real good force on that and drill in those holes for crafts and things very quickly. Good locking mechanism. Scissors is not as good. They're fair, but they're not as good as, say, on the P4. I think the scissors on the P4 is a little bit better. You can see it's the so right now, out of all the tools that I have, the P4 Leatherman is what I carry in my little belt pouch, because it has the most tools that I use. Well, I say the tools that I use the most, and I can hold on to it. And those carbide cutters are a little bit they last longer, whereas these is already dented and dull, and that doesn't work very well. But I like it. I wish that Swiss would come out with a little bit more of a textured handle, to where when your hands are slick, especially in the summer, that you can hold on to it a little bit better. And also some replaceable carbide cutters. It's a little bit more durable than what these are. Then this would be a #1 tool. So I wish I had the wherewithal to create my own. But until then, I think that this Leatherman P4 fits my needs in the shop and everywhere else as best as I can find at this point. Now, if I was stuck with any of these three, I would not complain too much. I think they're all three phenomenal tools, and you can't go wrong with any of them, to be honest. Okay, I hope this helps, and I hope you got some ideas of what you need, because everybody, I mean, tools is kind of unique to the person, to the individual. I mean, my needs are not the same as what you would probably need, so you know, you just have to go through the tool selection and figure out what fits your needs the best. This is what works for me. Okay, so until the next one, you guys get in the backyard, whittle on a stick. Be sure and take a child with you. You get the opportunity, and don't forget those plenty of band-aids and lots of knives. We'll catch you again real soon. We're going to be cooking up some spare ribs here in just a moment when the fire burns down and get a bed of coals. Stick with me.